It is Friday, March 4th. I'm Nichole Berlie, and this is NewsNation Rush Hour. Let's get you right to the very latest from Ukraine. NATO has rejected Ukrainian calls to impose a no-fly zone over the country. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg saying doing so would further escalate the conflict and cause more human suffering. But the European Union did announce they're looking at imposing more sanctions on Russia. Meantime, in the U.S., despite bipartisan support in Congress for banning Russian oil imports, the White House has yet to take any action. The Biden administration saying the move will not make a big difference to Russia and would cause gas prices to go up even more for Americans. And right now, Russia has taken control of one of Europe's largest nuclear power plants. It supplies a fourth of Ukraine's energy. The plant caught fire overnight after facing Russian missiles, but officials say that reactor was unharmed. NewsNation correspondent Robert Sherman joining us now on the ground in Ukraine. Now, Robert, this land grab really has many people concerned.
It most certainly does. With the Russians seizing the largest nuclear power plant in Europe, it has taken those concerns and maximized them with fear that this catastrophe could be even greater. The U.S. Embassy in Ukraine calling the Russian attack on Europe's largest nuclear power plant a war crime. Russian shelling of the plant sparking a fire at the facility, raising fears of a disaster that could affect all of Central Europe for decades, and evoking memories of the 1986 Chernobyl meltdown, considered the worst nuclear disaster in history.
Our nuclear nightmares in Ukraine are mounting. Last week, it was Putin conducting drills of nuclear-capable weapons with his exercises before the invasion. Then he made nuclear threats against anyone who would intervene, something we haven't seen in a very long time. Nuclear weapons, nuclear power are all playing a very key role in what's happening in Ukraine. So could this get out of control? Yes. It could.
UN and Ukrainian officials say no radiation was released during the attack, and firefighters extinguished the blaze at the facility. According to the International Atomic Energy Agency's Director General, a Russian projectile hit a training center at the plant. None of the 6 reactors were damaged, but 3 Ukrainian soldiers were killed and 2 others wounded. The plant is located in the southeast Ukraine. It's now under Russian control, but Ukrainians continue to run it. The plant fires the second time since the invasion began that concerns about a potential nuclear incident arose. Russian forces already have control of the decommissioned Chernobyl nuclear power plant in northern Ukraine, and worldwide concern about the ramifications of Russian control persist.
The threat of nuclear weapons is the main reason that the U.S. and NATO are not intervening. You do not want U.S. forces fighting Russian forces. We haven't done that since, well, we've never done it. We just don't do that for obvious reasons, the nuclear risk.
Meanwhile, Russia's defense ministry pushing back, blaming Ukraine for the plant fire, calling it a plot to discredit Russia. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warns an explosion at the 6-reactor, 5,700-megawatt plant could spell the end of Europe. He's accusing Moscow of waging nuclear terror and deliberately firing at the reactors.
We are warning everybody, not a single state apart from Russia has ever shelled nuclear reactors. It is for the first time in our history, in the history of humankind, that the terrorist state turned to nuclear terrorism.
And I can tell you on the ground here, the Ukrainian people have been following this story very closely, still very concerned about what this reactor being in Russian hands means to them. Coming up in a half hour, we'll be sharing the story of a woman fleeing the invasion of Kherson with her 6-year-old daughter and where they go from here. Back to you.
And Robert, we just want to ask you, you are back inside now. We spoke earlier this morning. You were outside. That is due to the curfew again?
Yes, curfew comes in exactly at 10 o'clock, and you do not want to be on the streets. It's very strict here. Off of the streets, lights are out. They do not want anybody to be interfering with law enforcement, and they don't want to suspect you of any wrongdoing here in this war zone.
All right, staying inside. Robert Sherman, thank you for your reporting. We'll check back with you. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.